Okay, this video we are going to see how to traverse through a list, two-dimensional list in Python. So this is the code I have written. In this you can see I have a list. The first element itself is a list with two elements, two items, um, and this is the second item in the list, the third and fourth. And you can since list is a can be used as an iterator, we can iterate uh, through the list each item by item. So we can use for loop for to loop through the list. And when you loop through this first for loop, we will be getting the first item. First item itself is a list, so we can again iterate through that list and separate out the um, each individual values. So that we can see first. um, I'm just taking the visualization. This is the first for loop. You can see how the list has been stored in Python. It is like objects, and this is the list. This is the first item. Item is pointing to a list which is having two items values. One is 20, another one is 21. Second pointer pointing to a list which is having values 2 and 3. Same way third and fourth. So this is how the Python storing the list, two-dimensional list. And we can see how for loop working here. When you do a for loop, now we have a pointer pointing to the first list. That is what row is pointing to. And we are going to the second for loop. Second for loop, we got the value column variable as 20. That is the first value of this list, and we are printing that. And we printed the second item in the first list. Then that loop ends because we have only two items in the first list. So this for loop automatically detects the end of the iterator, and it stops the iteration and coming out to the first loop. Now the row is pointing to the second list, and same way it is printing the second list, and it is coming out and going to the outer for loop, going to the third list, going to the fourth, and the outer list is also exhausted, so it stopped the iteration. Now we can see how we can iterate through uh, using the index. Here you can see the first for loop is the same. We are iterating through the list through my list, and second for loop is actually a range of values starting from 0 and to the length of the row. For here this row length is 2, and this 2 means it's actually skipping one item. So index would be something like 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, something like that. So we can see how this for loop works. As you can see, the row is still pointing to the first list. That is what we expected. And column index is 0. That is what the range is returning. And it's printed row of 0. Row of 0 is 20, so it's printed 20. Now it's went to the second. It skipped one and went to 2, and 2 is already out of the um, list, so it skipped this for loop and going out to the first for loop, the outer for loop, and is pointing the second list. Printed 2 and it came out. Printed 3 and it came out. Printed 10 and came out. And here we are slicing the list. Our list is this, and if you want to slice here, um, 0 index would be starting with 0, so this is 0th position, first, second, third, 0, first, second, third. So if you want to slice at I equal to 3, we are slicing at here. So that is what we are doing here. We are creating another list from my list with 1 to 3. So it is starting from 1 to 3. We will see what would be that list. It's sliced and it is pointing to, it's created a new list, that is my underscore L, and it got two values. One is the new list 0th position is pointing to second list, and its second item is pointing to the third actual list. So that means uh, it's actually sliced here and here. So it's slicing as index 1 and it's slicing here, it's excluding this last third index. So we got these two lists. That means we got only these two lists. This is the index 1, this is the index 3. Index 3 is not included, it's excluding the index 3. So now we can see what it is printing. Since it's pointing to second and third, we know that this is what it is going to print. Yeah, it's printed that. And we can also use the slicing mechanism in our for loop for if you want to restrict the traversal to particular index. We can slice the list up to that point. So I'm slicing this my new list up to uh, index 1. That means I'm including only the 0th index here. We will see what happens. J is equal to 1, that is true, and row is pointing to the this list. That is what my new list pointing is, first item. My underscore L is this, and it is pointing to this. This is what we are getting in the row. Sorry. Yeah. Now it is coming to column, and what we got the column as 2. That is the value 2 from here. It's printing that, and it's again checking. and it should print 3. It's printed 3. It got this 3, that is a column value. Now it should come out of this inner for loop because the iterator is going outside, so it stop the iteration and come out. Yes, it's coming out to the outer for loop. Now you can see there won't be any further item here, so because we are taking only the first item. Yeah, that's what it's coming out of this for loop because we sliced at 0 colon 1, so we are excluding 1. So we, that means we are taking only index 0. Index 0 is only 2 3 for my new list. So that way we can slice the list and iterate through whatever way we want. There are a lot of flexibility in slicing the list and iterating through list in Python. So I guess you like this video. We'll see you soon in next video. Thank you.